Another simple but important concept in personal finance is to pay yourself first, right? It doesn't matter if you make $10 an hour. It doesn't matter if you make $100 an hour. It doesn't matter if you make $100,000 an hour, okay? Pay yourself first, okay? Now you might be sitting there saying, well, I barely have enough to pay my expenses or my monthly, whatever it is, right? Your rent or whatever, okay? Pay yourself first, okay? Most people tend to spend what they think that they have, what they see in their account, right? So if you pay yourself first, you will think that you have a lot less and you will manage, I promise you, okay? Now there's 3 major books that have implemented that, have basically taught this strategy from day one, and I've implemented it, kind of the different variations in each book. So I recommend that you obviously buy these books or, download them on your Kindle or whatever, read them. They will certainly help you out. It's 3 of them that I've already covered before in that previous lecture. So The Richest Man in Babylon, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and The Millionaire Booklet all have their own kind of form of paying yourself first or staying broke, as I like to say, right? So I constantly stay broke, right? Even when my income increases and my expenses go down, I'm still broke. Why is that? Because any amount of money that I make excess to what I'm potentially going to spend on my expenses that month, or excess to what I potentially think I'm going to spend budget-wise for my, the things that I'm enjoying, right? My leisure activities, and we'll cover that in the budgeting lecture. Anything else, I either put into investments or I put into a high interest savings account, right? That I don't see. I don't pay attention to it. It's sure as heck not in my checking account, right? So I don't see that every single month and every single day and think that I have more money to spend than I do. Because if I personally think that I have more money to spend, I will spend it, right? I will be a little bit more loose with my spending. I won't think about these things. I want to be disciplined. So pay yourself first, stay broke, so to speak. Because, like I did say, most people tend to spend what they think that they have, and what they see in their account is going to inspire them to spend it, okay? So that's the reason, honestly, why most people's expenses rise with their income, but you can nip that in the bud right off the bat, right? If you just pay yourself first and literally get rid of your excess cash flow, obviously after you allocate for your certain expenses, for that month, and some potential leisure activities. We'll cover that, like I said, more in the budgeting lecture, okay? Now, very rarely, unless somebody is very financially disciplined, does somebody earn more, like continuously increase their income or their assets and maintain the same lifestyle. Very often people's lifestyle and their expenses increase with their income. And that is a huge mistake, right? So you might look at somebody and be like, there's so many people around you that live around you that I promise, right? Like you might think like, okay, this person has 40 grand and they're broke. They're constantly broke and they make $40,000 a year. And the very same person, down the street that's making $200,000 a year is probably also broke because they have higher expenses to match that, right? So they have no excess cash flow. Same thing with a lot of people that make 500 grand, right? And the list goes on and on. So you need to make sure that, like I said, cash flow is the holy grail. Pay yourself first, okay? And I would outline this a little bit more, but these 3 books, like I've listed right here, do so much of a better job than I ever could dream of. So read them. The Richest Man in Babylon, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and The Millionaire Booklet, okay? If you eliminate that option to potentially spend by literally paying yourself first, it will make a massive difference, I promise you.